We're going to call our meeting to order. Thank you all so much for your patience and for being here. We conduct the business of the county. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our Vice Chairman, Chris Bowers, for the invocation.
Dear Lord, gracious Heavenly Father, we come tonight to thank you for all the mercies and the graces that you've given us, Lord. We pray that you be with us and you lead us, guide us, give us wisdom, direction as we do the business of this great county, Lord. We thank you for all you've done for us and all that you're going to do through us, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you will, please remain standing for our national anthems being sung by Mr. Cletus Jones from Southern Wesleyan University.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, we're so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watch, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here to do that. Really We'll move to our second item on the agenda, the public forum. Once again, thank you to everybody. This week's been an interesting week. I love how that the citizens are coming to us and giving us their problems and solutions at the same time. So it's been really refreshing to see that. Madam Clerk, will you please call our first speaker?
Mr. Chairman and members of council, I call Ken Horbinski.
Hi, my name is Ken Horbinski, and I'm here to talk about semi-truck engine brakes. I'm hereby to bring to your attention the issue of the semi-trucks using engine brakes in pickups. For some that may not know what an engine brake is, it's a brake on the truck engine that is used in combination with regular brakes on a truck and trailer. The engine brake was designed to be used on mountain roads with assistance to the regular brakes to help slow down the truck and prevent the regular brakes from overheating. These brakes create a lot of noise. In recent years, I have noticed an increase of trucks traveling on our local roads, which basically are flat, and they are using these engine brakes all the time. I have been in town at Hardee's and other businesses and have seen and heard trucks using the engine brakes while going through town. This is totally unnecessary. The road I mainly want to address is Highway 8 going out of the town north on 211. There are a lot of trucks hauling a certain commodity using this road and applying their engine brakes to slow down their vehicles. The loud noise carries across this countryside and valley. I have talked to many people that live on Highway 8 area, and they are really disturbed by the loud noise. Trucks are traveling the roads all day and late into the night and early morning hours. Even late in the hours, the noise is being heard with no consideration to residents in the area. There's absolutely no reason why a homeowner and residents should have to put up with this daily disturbance because some drivers choose to amuse themselves while driving. I called this to bring the attention of the company I called to bring this attention to one of the companies who seemed the biggest offender. I was very polite on the phone, but was treated rudely and hung up on. Nothing was resolved. Currently, there are over 24 states that have passed laws prohibiting the use of engine brakes in residential and flat road areas. First of all, I have nothing against truck drivers, as I once was one and never this kind of nonsense. There is a difference between a professional truck driver and a truck driver. I have logged over 1,750,000 miles on a semi-truck in all 48 states and 5 provinces in Canada. I also logged 600,000 miles on a 55-passenger tour bus, and they all had brakes, engine brakes on them. We were not allowed to use them. If you got caught using them going into a town where the law was, it was a $1,000 fine at the bottom of the hill. I had it on our one Kenworth. I had that. We were learned. They do come in handy, but it's totally unnecessary. And I would like the company or the council to really consider getting something done about this. And it's just a big, very big disturbance. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman and members of council, this concludes the public forum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Our next item on the agenda is approval of minutes. You all got this in your packet. So I'll ask for a motion approving the minutes for the March 11, 2019 regular meeting. Motion by Councilman Teamster, second by Councilman Vice Chairman Powell. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. And that motion carried. On to item number 4, administrative report. Recognize Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of council. First of all, I'd like to ask you to consider adding a economic development update to the agenda, Project Jack. I'd also like to ask council to consider adding a legal update to executive session tonight.
Project Jack and what now?
A legal update.
Okay.
And next, I'm going to ask Mr. Denise Quietek to step to the podium. Part of my administrator's report going forward is I'm going to have some staff come forward and kind of talk about some things going on in individual departments. Ms. Quietek.
Good evening, council. I wanted to talk a little bit about our exercise that we had on March 15th. It was a disaster exercise. We participated. EMS was part of it. We had a tornado that struck Vegasville High School. So our technical rescue team came in and shored up the building. Our hazmat team had a hazmat incident. So our hazmat team came and they were able to confirm what the chemical was and proceed on so that EMS could treat the patients. Thereafter, the school district was allowed to have students go to their reunification center so they were able to do their plan, which allowed them to reunite parents with families. And Mr. Feaster, he was so kind to be one of our parents, so we really appreciate that. He got to see the whole process, so I appreciate that. And Mr. Hudson was also there for the reunification part, and we threw a little curveball in there. And then after that, we opened a family assistance center. So once parents have reunited with their children, and we have children that have gone to hospitals, then we go to the family assistance center, and they're able to reunite or speak to and find their children, or the coroner may be called in. So we played out the whole thing. It was a long day. Everyone was methodical. They showed their weaknesses and their strengths, and they had a lot of strengths on how well they responded to the incident. So I appreciate some council members being there. Mr. Costner was there in the morning and in the evening, so we appreciate that.
I want to commend you on just an incredible event, and it was very cool to see how all that worked. I don't understand the nuances of it, but I know that they were out there in the rain, pouring down, in hazmat suits. It just like weather doesn't matter, you still got to go through and go through the process. So, just an incredible job that you guys did. It was an excellent work.
It was. We had 169 participants in 21 different agencies.
From across the state?
From across the state, yes. We had The lower country, they wanted to see how the reunification and the FAC part worked, Family Assistance Center worked. So they got to see the incident starting out, and then they got to go and do what they do, is the reunification portion in the Family Assistance Center.
And I did learn some things too about how deaths are handled in cases like that, and several other things that I did not fully understand.
Yes, they showed the whole process. The coroner came in, and instead of doing it behind closed doors, we allowed the participants of the Family Assistance Center to see exactly what takes place when she does death notification, and people were able to learn a little bit about that process as well. So it was a very good learning day. In May, we're going to do an after-action review, and we'll bring everyone back together and talk about what worked and what didn't.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denise. Next, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask Ms. Jamie Burns to step to the podium. As everyone's aware, we're kind of finishing up our 150-year celebration. We have Mr. Mark Woods coming into town next week. It should wind us up on our 150-year celebration. She'll kind of give a quick update on our tourism department.
Yeah, good evening. So it's hard to believe it's already been a year since Mark Wood was here the last time, but next week his team will be coming in. He'll actually get here on Wednesday, then that Thursday and Friday of next week he'll be in different schools in Pickens County working directly with the students and rehearsing with them to get them ready for the big concert that'll take place on Saturday, and that is at Liberty High School at 7 o'clock. As you can see in the pictures, this will kind of give you an idea of how it'll be laid out on the field. Keep in mind what you're seeing there. It may not look exactly like that. They want to make sure that the parents will be able to face their children when they're performing and take their pictures and things like that. So that may change a little bit, but that gives you a general idea. The rain plan, should it rain or we have bad weather next weekend, is to move that to Easley High School's auditorium. They have the largest auditorium, can accommodate the most people. Obviously, some things will need to change in terms of how many people can be accommodated if it comes down to that, but we're hoping for good weather. The plan is to make a call next Tuesday so that if plans do need to change and we see that there's a chance of rain and it needing to be moved inside, that call can be made in time for adjustments to be made with sound, light, stage, those kinds of things. So by next Tuesday afternoon, that call should be made. But we hope that you all will be there. Hope to see you there. Again, that's at 7 o'clock next Saturday, weather permitting, at Liberty High School's football stadium, free of charge to the general public. And then in the event of rain, it would be moved inside to Easley. I also wanted to just mention a couple of other things. You may, as you all know, I think that we've been doing through the museum 150 Days of History. It's kind of neat the way it worked out from October the 6th when we celebrated the sesquicentennial in Easley until this coming weekend is 150 days. So that'll conclude that weekend as well. The museum's numbers are starting to pick up. There's beginning to be a little bit of interest there from new programming we're bringing in. We had 65 visitors last week, which averages to about 16 or 17 a day when you take into account it's only open 4 days a week right now. It's also Youth Arts Month. Artwork from the school district, from students in the school district, is going up this week. So stop by and see that this month. They'll be having receptions next Tuesday and Thursday for elementary school students as well, and then high school will be later in the month. We also, the homeschool program is continuing to grow. This month, the morning program is already sold out on April the 25th. For the first time, we're opening up an afternoon session from 2 to 4 so that we can try to accommodate more students because we just don't have any more room to bring anybody else in the morning. We cap it at about 40 students and then around 20 parents, so we can accommodate about 60 to 65 people comfortably in there. And then the last thing I'll mention is that Haygood Mill is going to become the official location of the Watermelon Crawl Festival. They're hosting that the last Saturday in July, and they will be having a press conference with more information this Saturday, but just kind of giving you a heads up, I think that's going to be really neat that they'll become the official location for that. And the gentleman, Zach Turner, who co-wrote the 90s hit song Watermelon Crawl, will be there to perform that song. And so we'll be coming out with more information. And then lastly, I just want to say to all of you guys, thank you. Your support of the sesquicentennial has been both critical and much appreciated by staff, including myself. So I just want to end by saying thank you for all you've done to help make our 150th celebration a success.
Thank you for all that you and all the staff have done for this. I know that Mark Woods experienced it. Those of you that like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, imagine 800 to 1,000 students playing Trans-Siberian style at the ball field, and that's going to be an incredible event. So we're looking forward to all of it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jamie. Finally, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to remind council that we'll be having our third semi-annual Litter Blitz, April the 26th. Government offices will be closed that day. Staff will be out picking up. Looks like we'll do 123 and 153 this time. We hope all council will be involved in it. Kind of start watching this Friday. There'll be weekly infomercials coming out through our social media, kind of leading up to the event. We got some big news coming up for that. So thank you. I'd be glad to entertain any questions you may have this time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let's see. Next item is council correspondence. And no, it's not. It's a committee report. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Committee reports. The committee of the whole met in the main conference room of the administration building on Monday, March 18th at 6 o'clock. You've got the written report in your packet. The first item addressed was log number 100, the employee engagement survey, and no action was taken by committee. The next item is log number 55, review of fire boards and districts, and Vice Chairman Bauer made a motion to accept proposals submitted by the Emergency Services Board, instructing staff to implement the proposal and made a recommendation to remove this item from the log. The first step in implementing this proposal is to do first reading in title only for the following ordinance. So, first reading in title only of an ordinance amending the uniform ordinance for fire protection districts as previously enacted by ordinance number 404, as amended by ordinance number 405, to abolish the governing boards for each of the fire service districts, and to provide that each of the fire protection districts shall be operated as an administrative division of Pickens County and other matters relating thereto. Since this does come as a recommendation from the committee, no second is required. The only thing I wanted to mention about this is specifically, basically, it's all the fire districts stay intact, the service stays intact. Everything stays exactly the same except we go to one emergency services board. And then we will be working towards other portions of this as we go into budget discussions. So I would ask for all those in favor for accepting this recommendation to please signify by raising your hands. That motion carried. The next item was discussed was law number 88, recreation funding request. No action was taken. And the next item was law number 119, memorandum of understanding, and no action was taken by the committee on that. And that concludes our committee of the whole report for March 18, 2019. We'll start checking these off so I don't remember them. Now, council correspondence. I know that Mr. Wilson mentioned about our litter blitz, and we're excited about all of that coming up on April the 26th. That's a great way to celebrate Earth Day and set an example for the future generations to keep our environment clean. The Committee of the Whole will meet Monday, April the 8th at 6 p.m. in the main conference room of this facility. We moved that to accommodate those for spring break. And the next council meeting will be Monday, May the 6th at 6:30 in this auditorium. Is there any other correspondence that needs to be announced? All right. Seeing none, we will move on into our motion period and new business. So now that we're in motion for new business, does any member have any motions at this time?
Make a motion to add Project Jack legal update to our executive session.
There's a motion to add Project Jack in legal update to executive session. Second by Councilman Hudson. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. I'd like to make a motion that we add the semi-trucks engine brakes discussion to the consent agenda for the committee of the whole. Second by Councilman Bowers. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. All those opposed? All right, and any other motions to new business? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to item number 8, presentation of annual update by the Appalachian Council of Governments. Mr. Pelletier, so good to see you again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of council. I do appreciate the opportunity to be with you this evening and provide my annual report on COG services to the county and return on investment. I do understand you have a very long agenda, so I will be very brief this evening, but I do want to start out by saying thank you. I've been with the Council of Governments over 29 years now. We've been in existence over 50 years, and we appreciate the support that Pickens County Council and Pickens County shows to the Council of Governments. We certainly look forward to enjoy and look forward to working with your staff and with the folks throughout Pickens County. I also want to particularly thank Mr. Feimster, Mr. Costner for serving on the Council of Governments Board. Other board members from Pickens County include Representative Neil Collins, Easley Mayor Larry Bagwell, and Citizen Member Margaret Thompson. Prior to the meeting this evening, passed out our annual report for 2018. The pages specific to Pickens County begin on page 23, but I also put an insert in the front for you. Yeah, I think a good way to look at performance is return on investment. And last year, Pickens County invested $61,631 in the Appalachian Council of Governments. The return on that investment back to the county, municipalities, special purpose districts, and people in the county was around $6 million, or a return on investment ratio of about $98 back for every dollar invested. These include a $500,000 community development block grant that we helped the city of Clemson secure for the Little John Community Center, $642,000 for workforce development training through our partners at WorkLink. This helps folks who, in the changing economy and changing technology, need help to become, to remain employable or to become employable in the face of changes. Incumbent worker program, transitions for workers when there are layoffs, and out-of-school youth. $557,000 for services to seniors through our partners at Meals on Wheels and other partners as well. Served over 31,000 meals through that, provided much-needed medical transportation, largely for kidney dialysis patients, but also for folks who come out of the hospital and need to go to physical therapy or follow-up appointments, general exercise and medical visits as well as home care and home health care. We were really pleased to be able to participate with Pickens County, the City of Central, United Way, Meals on Wheels, and several others for a really outstanding project y'all had in Central with the Senior Center and the Alzheimer's Center there. I think one that just really kind of gets a lot of publicity around the state for a bunch of groups working together and showing confidence in each other. So again, we were pleased we were able to be a little bit of help in the financing of that. Also, $1.1 million on preliminary engineering for the US 178 improvement project between Liberty and the Anderson County line. Have a total of $5.5 million funded for that through the year 2021 to complete that effort. On the second page of my handout in the book, we have several other services outlined as well that we've done through the county, and I really would ask you to take a look at those as you get the opportunity. But again, seeing how long your agenda is this evening, I don't think I'll take the time to read it to you, and also highlight some of the upcoming services and plans that we have for, the rest of this year, 2019. It's amazing we're already in April. With that, I think I'll end my prepared comments, but certainly would be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions? Mr. Pilser, thank you so much for taking the time to come here and preparing this report. It's very apparent that ACOG is of vital importance to all of the things that happen in Pickens County. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. I need to ask a point of clarification because I forgot to do something. I should have made a motion on consent, during motion period of new business on an item at a consent agenda.
Since it's just sending it to consent agenda for a consideration of a future meeting, I think that's perfectly fine. You could even do that as chairman by direction. I mean, that wouldn't be a big issue.
Well, I'd make sure it's got to be fine. I'd like to make a motion that we add fiscal year budget 2019-2020 to the consent agenda. Second, Mr. James, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, can I ask, is that to send it to the committee, or?
Pardon me?
The purpose is to send it to committee, or?
To send it to the committee of the whole, so that we can discuss it there as part of everything that we do, because a lot of the items that we're talking about, committee of the whole, will also be affecting our budget.
I just want to make sure I understood. Yes.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. You thought it was April Fool's. I know that's what I was thinking. That's something we do need to talk about. Thank you for your help with that, and I apologize for neglecting that. All right, our next item is number 9, consideration of Pickens County Sheriff's Office apply for the Edward Ryan Memorial Assistance Grant JAG program. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, sir. We got Sheriff Clark. Clark, what do you think? He can kind of give you a better update than I could.
This is our annual grant from the feds that we get. Like last year, a couple years ago, we bought our simulation where we're training officers on actual adult shoot situations, and there's every year about a $15,000 to $18,000 grant, and it comes to every agency across the nation, so it's divided up from that. So it's a very good program, and believe it or not, a decent amount of paperwork. It's not like most grants, and it's just there to support the local sheriff's office and police departments across the nation.
And there's no matching on this?
No matching. Okay. Believe it or not, no matching.
Y'all have a discussion?
I think it's a good thing, as far as training and stuff like that. All the training we get for the officers may pay dividends and possible civil litigation of it, and the training of the officers to do the right thing.
That's been one of our highlights, is our simulation machine. It's full. It's like having the same gun, same taser, everything. OC spray, you train on it. So it's been one of the best things to come out of the JAG for us in the past several years.
Any other questions? Do we need to have a motion that we approve the application for the grant?
I'll make a motion to approve the application for this grant presented.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Hendricks. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. Thank you so much, Sheriff. Appreciate your help. Item number 10. Consideration of resolution number 2019-4 designating April as Fair Housing Awareness Month in Pickens. You guys have got the resolution in front of you. Whereas Pickens County desires that all citizens be afforded the opportunity to attain a decent, safe, and sound living environment, and whereas Pickens County rejects discrimination on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, national origin, disability, and or familial status in the sale, rental, or provision of other housing services, whereas the state of South Carolina enacted the South Carolina Fair Housing Law in 1989, and whereas April is recognized nationally as Fair Housing Month, now therefore be it resolved that Pickens County does hereby designate April 2019 as Fair Housing Month. Need a motion?
Motion to approve this resolution.
Second by Councilman Hudson, I think was first on that. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. Item number 11. Consideration of proclamation 2019-05 declaring the week of April 14th and 21st to be the National Telecommunicators Week in Pickens County. You have that proclamation in front of you. Whereas the Congress of the United States and the President of the United States have established the second week of April as the National Telecommunicators Week, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property, and whereas the safety of our officers, firefighters, and paramedics is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone Pickens County E911 communications, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety, and whereas public safety telecommunicators of Pickens County have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients, therefore be it resolved that Pickens County Council declare the week of April 14th to the 21st, 2019 to be National Telecommunicators Week in Pickens County in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe. I need a motion and a second. Councilman Pinkston, second by Vice Chairman Bowers. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. And that motion carries. There are so many folks here from E911.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We've got quite a few of them in the back here. We've got Ms. Tasha Todd.
I'd love we're Jamie. Jamie, I'd love for you guys to come up and let's get a picture with everybody. Oh, come on, it's a picture. It won't hurt you.
Mr. Chairman, while they're coming up to the front, I don't know if you've been watching your emails lately, but over the last, 6-8 weeks, they've been implementing priority dispatch, EMD dispatch, and priority dispatch. I think this past month was a 99% chase. Is that correct? They achieved a 99% rate. I think it speaks highly of the cooperation between the Sheriff's Department and administration staff. Thank you guys for what you do. We appreciate each of you.
Thank you so much for your excellent work, and thank you for everything that you guys do and represent. Thank you. Love y'all.
Thank you.
Why don't y'all scoot in the middle? We'll flank you. Y'all scoot in the middle, we'll flank you.
Thank you. So I'll get the other side there, and I'll be on the side. Is that what you want to do? We can cancel in, get that little 9/11 sandwich.
I'm gonna have to go a little bit.
What do you say?
Yes.
Squeeze it a little time.
Bill?
Thank you.
Okay.
You got it right.
Move on to item number 12. This is first reading and title only of an ordinance number 570 to provide for adoption of a budget amendment containing estimates of the revenue and expenditure changes in Pickens County for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2018 and ending June 30th, 2019. We received our books today. Mr. Wilson, you want to make any comments about that?
Mr. Chairman, I sent council an email earlier today, kind of outlines the budget. This is a balanced budget with no tax increase. I really don't want to get too deep into it. You guys have a chance to really look at it, read it, review it, and comment on it, if that's possible.
One comment I want to make is I know this much paper obviously is an incredible amount of work. Mr. Ryan and your team, thank you so much for all that you do. Any other comments? I need to get a motion in a second. Vice Chairman Bowers, second by Councilman Hudson. Any other discussion on this?
I'm impressed that they did not have to.
They're backwards. Just wider.
Me too. We'll dive into it and go full bore in the next few weeks.
Mr. Chairman, just to be clear, this is the budget amendment?
That's the budget amendment for fiscal year that we're discussing.
Right, for fiscal year, yeah, this is, I read this.
I'm watching Ralph do this.
They're flipped. They're actually flipped backwards, Mr.
I
Chairman.
read it, I read it, I got it.
See, I rolled with you, Roy.
First reading and title only of ordinance 570 to adopt the adopted budget amendment containing estimates, revenue, expenditure change for Pickens County for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2000.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Chairman, this will be the numbers we talked about during our work session at Easley Hospital. Those will be coming out next month.
This should be for, ordinance number 570 should be for the amendment from July 1 of 18 to ending June 30th of 19, which is the current fiscal year we need today. That was one of those for Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Now, what you're saying for?
Yes.
All right, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. Item number 13. This is first reading. This is first reading title only of ordinance number 569, provide for the levy of taxes in Pickens County for ordinary county purposes for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020, and to direct expenditure thereof. Ask for a motion to second constitute this first reading in title only.
Motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Vice Chairman, second by Mr. Feenstra. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. That motion carries.
Thank you again, Mr. Rena, for the tough work on this motion as well.
Yeah, thank you. Very sure. Item number 14. First reading in title only of an ordinance 568 to develop a jointly owned and operated industrial business park in conjunction with Oconee County. Such an industrial business park will be geographically located in Oconee County and established pursuant to South Carolina Code of Laws 1976, Section 4-1-170, as amended, to provide for a written agreement with Oconee County providing for the expenditures of the park, the percentage of revenue application, and the distribution of fees in lieu of ad valorem taxes and matters related thereto. Ask for a motion to second to constitute this first reading in title only. Motion by Mr. Feenstra. Second by Councilman Hudson. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. All right, item number 15. This is the second reading of ordinance number 567, declaring certain lots within the Quail Haven subdivision as surplus, placing thereon restrictive covenants, and authorizing the conveyance of said lots and matters relating thereto. I ask for a motion and a second to constitute the second reading. Motion by Councilman Hudson. Second by Vice Chairman Bowers. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
This goes up for auction, is that how we?
Yes, sir. It'll actually, Ralph will actually take care of that. It'll follow our procurement process. It'll take auction, sale bids, really however you guys want us to do it. There's several different ways we could do it, though.
We're pretty much required to do it by auction, right?
That's my understanding.
Okay, so that's the procedures we're going through with it. And there'll be a public auction or a closed bid auction, or does that really matter?
We'll have to notify them. Go ahead.
I was going to say, this is the first time I've ever done this, so I'm going to have to do some research, but obviously it's going to be public. Anybody can bid on it.
Right.
Not sure how we're going to go through it, but I've got some thoughts.
I would guess the easiest way is to have a closed bid on it. Everyone submits for bid, get a minimum number we want for it, y'all can.
Yes, sir.
No.
Just make sure we're following those correct procedures so there's no
before we
for anyone saying, hey, you're trying to do something. This goes through natural procurement, get rid of property stuff.
Yes, sir.
So just make sure we do that first.
and we'll bring the information back to council prior to a sale. Prior to a sale, we'll bring the information back to council.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. Item number 16. Public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 567 to provide for the issuance and sale of not exceeding $300,000 general obligation bond, Series 2019 Venues Fire Protection District of Pickens County, South Carolina, to describe the purposes for which the proceeds shall be expended, to provide for the payment thereof, and other matters relating thereto. At this time, I will call us into a public hearing. Does anyone have anything they would like to say? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing portion of this. And I'll call the question. All in favor, signify by raising your hands on the motion.
Mr. Chairman, we've got to get a motion in a second on that second thing.
Chair, I'm terribly sorry, I did not do that. Motion by Councilman Hendricks, second by Councilman Hudson. Sorry, thank you. Now, all in favor, signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. Thank you so much. You're jumping too fast. Item number 17, consent agenda. I'll keep you straight here. So on the consent agenda, we have the reassessment process, which we got the reassessment every
Yes, we're in the process of going through a reassessment right now. What we want to do is come in and brief council on where we are. We've got a quick little presentation to kind of explain reassessment for the guys that hadn't been here before during reassessment.
And we also have the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget on the consent agenda. And we have the truck stuff on the consent agenda. So ask for a motion second to approve the consent agenda item as presented. Motion by Councilman Whitehurst. Second by Councilman Hudson. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. Item number 18, executive session. We are going in to discuss Project Jack, a legal update, and then personnel update on administration, contractual issues with Madden Bridge, legal issues on memorandum of understanding, economic development for Project Providence, boards and commissions for the following boards and commission vacancies: ATAX, Alcohol and Drug Behavioral Health, ACOG, Assessment and Appeals Beautification Committee, Bethlehem, Roanoke Water, Construction Board of Appeals, Cultural Commission, Beasley, Central Water, Economic Development Alliance, GPATS, Library Board of Directors, Pickens County Grievance Committee, Pickens County Management, Mental Health, Planning Commission, Public Service Commission, Sedgwick Tax District, 6 Mile Rural Water, Southside Rural Water, Water Authority, Worklink, Tourism Board, Zoning and Appeals, and our nonprofit corporation boards for Higgins Mill, Pickens County Museum, Pickens County Performing Arts Center. I ask for a motion second that we enter an executive session for the reasons listed. Motion by Vice Chairman Bauer, second by Mr. Feenstra. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by raising your hand. And we will go into executive session after we take a 5-minute break. Thank you, guys. So we'll call us back into our regular session after our executive session. We have a couple of action items. First is first reading of title only for our litter ordinance. I ask for a motion and a second on this first reading of title only.
Motion, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Vice Chairman Bauer, second by Councilman Hudson. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. Next action item is first reading of title only for ordinance establishing a trust fund for indigent medical treatment in Pickens County, pursuant to provisions of the Medical Indigent Assistance Act, to further define requirements and procedures for disbursement from the trust fund and matters related thereto. Motion is second. So moved. Motion by Councilman Bauer, second by Councilman Feenstra. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. That motion carries. We have board appointments, and we'll do these as a group. For Accommodations Tax Committee, Mr. J. Kitts. Beautification Committee, Ms. Lillian Boatwright. For ACOG, Mr. Fletcher Perry. For Emergency Services Board, Hub Smith. And for Planning Commission, Robin Moore. I ask for a motion in a second that we accept those for the motion. Motion by Councilman Hendricks, second by Councilman Feenstra. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman. Second. We need 3 motions as a second. All those in favor, signify by raising your hand. And we are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.